Can you place yourself in a world where people in charge of education are trying to restrain one's knowledge, intelligence, and sense of wonder? This is exactly what is happening in today's society, not only in America, but all across the world. The main idea that I am focusing on today is teaching evolution in the world's classrooms. Many people and groups oppose teaching such a controversial subject such as this one. But on the other side of the argument, there are many who think that not only would this be wrong, but devastating to the present and future students of the world. I, Fabian Giuliano, am one of these people. Like I mentioned before, there are two groups, either for teaching evolution or against it. The group that opposes evolution are called creationists. For those of you who are not familiar with what creationists are, let me explain. Creationists are people who believe in a God who is an absolute creator of heaven and earth, out of nothing, by the act of free will. This is explained by Ruth Potts, who is a member of the Smithsonian Institution. This means that they believe the earth is only 6,000 years old, and that every animal was created then and has not evolved since. On the other side of the argument, many scientists, including the famous Bill Nye, believe there is plenty of proof suggesting evolution is real, and that the earth is much older than 6,000 years old. My goal in this presentation is to ultimately have a good and well-presented case that evolution should be allowed to be taught in the world's classrooms. While I plan to have a solid argument and presentation, I will do so with everyone knowing that I am doing it out of the utmost respect for everyone else's beliefs. Everyone in the world has a different belief and view on a subject, and the greatness that comes from that is no matter what people around the world can debate and discuss different issues and topics with each other. My presentation has enormous information from intelligent sources such as Bill Nye. Other information for this research presentation has come from well-respected books such as the Stanford Encyclopedia and www.debate.com. All great sources with one thing in common: evolution. The result of this presentation contributes much to different times in the world. Evolution can be found benefiting the world at all different times. The findings presented here fall into three categories: future, past, and present. Teaching evolution in the classroom contributes much to everyone's future. Listen to what one of the most well-known scientists in the world has to say about evolution. Science is the key to our future, and if you don't believe in science, then you're holding everybody back. And it's fine if you as an adult want to run around pretending or claiming that you don't believe in evolution. But if we educate a generation of people who don't believe in science, that's a recipe for disaster. We talk about the internet and we talk about weather forecasting. That comes from science. The main idea of biology is evolution. To not teach it to our young people is wrong. Bill Nye said this in 2005 and still strongly believes in it now. Nye went to college at Cornell University where he studied mechanical engineering and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree. He has many achievements, including creating an Emmy Award-winning show called Bill Nye the Science Guy. That show won 19 Emmys, along with him individually winning 7 Emmys himself for writing and producing. Nye's opinions support teaching evolution, and his credentials make him a very valuable supporter. To deny something that is so clear and evident will set the whole world back in technology. 100 years ago, one would see people still riding horses in the town and notice that electricity was not in everyone's home. 100 years ago, people thought flying was impossible, that only birds could achieve this. 60 years later, humans put a man on the moon. This is the goal for all humans, to learn. This is what we live for, what we strive for, what we are meant to do. We instinctively want to learn more and obtain knowledge. Since being born, all of us have learned and used cognitive thoughts to figure things out in the world. 100 years ago, very few believed that anyone could ever fly. What if the majority of the people made it impossible for people to learn and challenge that belief? We would not be making flights across the Atlantic, that's for sure. So why would we stop people from teaching evolution in the classroom? Flying has the same thing as evolution does today. They both have examples surrounding them. Flying have examples of birds and insects flying through the air. An example of evolution that is surrounding us is what we call Darwin's finches. You can find Darwin's finches on the Galapagos Islands. These are two types of different finches. One is medium and one is large. The medium's beak is good for breaking nuts. While this is great, the larger one could chase the smaller ones away. Over the course of research, it was found that the medium developed smaller beaks for nuts that the larger ones did not notice and did not want. This is an example of evolution. Let's now look at the past. When Earth came to be over billions of years ago, the only living thing on Earth were single-celled organisms. This was found in fossils 3.4 billion years ago. But newer fossils dated to 1 billion years old have fossils of multi-celled organisms. Without evolution, this would be impossible. In conclusion, I would simply like to state why would we not teach all men where and how we became what we are today? Teaching evolution in the world's classrooms is a must. If man wants to contribute to strive and make new innovations, then teaching evolution in the classrooms is a no-brainer.